The desert stretched 4 miles, red and empty, as far as the eye could see. A lone rider moved through the heat waves, a man built of silence and scars. His horse stumbled on the dry ground, and the man patted its neck. Easy buck, just a few more miles. His name was Eli Ward, a former Union scout who hadn't worn a uniform in years. The war had taken everything but his aim and his guilt. Now he drifted from town to town, fixing fences or finding lost cattle, anything to keep moving. By sundown, he reached Larkspur, a tired mining town crouched between 2 cliffs. A few wooden buildings leaned against the wind. The sign over the saloon hung by one nail, creaking like an old ghost. Eli tied up his horse and stepped inside. The air was thick with smoke and cheap perfume. The piano in the corner wheezed out something that used to be a tune. Whiskey, Eli said. The bartender poured it without a word. The regulars turned to look. Larkspur didn't get many strangers anymore. From behind the counter, a woman's voice broke the silence. You look like hell, Mr. Ellie. Turned. She was tall, with a white shirt rolled at the sleeves, brown hair pinned up, and eyes that looked like they'd seen too much. Been ridden through it, he said. She smiled faintly. Name's Nora Kane. This is my place. You planning to cause trouble or drink quiet? Just a drink. Good, she said. We've had enough of the first kind. He nodded, sipping slow. The whiskey burned, and so did the silence that followed. Eli had been in town less than an hour when trouble walked in. 3 men burst through the doors. Mean and loud. The leader was a thick-shouldered man with a silver star pin crooked to his vest. Marshall Hodge. Someone whispered. The name hit the room like a curse. Hodge grinned, his teeth yellow. Vin, folks. Hope nobody forgot the sheriff's dues. Nora stiffened. You already took last month's. He swaggered to the bar, tapping his badge. Lord, don't run free. Dali, town stays safe. 'Cause I keep it that way. Eli could see the fear ripple through the room. He'd seen that look before in villages the army passed through, in people too tired to fight back. Hodge poured himself a drink without asking. Now, you can make this easy, or... He stopped when his eyes landed on Eli. Who's the stranger? Name's Eli Ward, Eli said calmly. You a lawman. Used to be. Hodge laughed. Then you know how this works. I know. A badge don't make you right, Eli said. The room froze. Hodge's grin faded. Careful, friend. Folks get hurt talking like that. Eli met his gaze. Only if they deserve it. Hodge slammed his glass down. You just bought yourself a problem. Word. Eli didn't move. Looks like I already had one. For a heartbeat. Nobody breathed. Then Hodge leaned close to Nora. You'd best choose who runs this town, him or me. I'll take the quiet one, she said evenly. The bar went dead silent. Hodge's face twisted. You'll regret that. He turned to his men. We'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we burn this place down for fun. They left laughing, boots echoing down the street. After they were gone, Nora exhaled slowly. You shouldn't have crossed him. Asterisk didn't seem right to let him talk like that. Asterisk, he's not a real marshal. Just wears the badge 'cause no one's left to stop him. His men run the mine, the sheriff's office, everything. Asterisk Eli finished his drink. Everyone's afraid of him. Asterisk everyone but the graveyard. Asterisk that night, Eli rented the cot upstairs, but sleep didn't come easy. He could still hear the echo of Hodge's laughter, the same kind that haunted battlefields long after the fighting stopped. Asterisk when dawn came, he was already awake, watching the sun crawl over the red cliffs. Asterisk by midday, Hodge made good on his promise. Eli was in the street when the first shot hit the sign above the saloon. People scattered, doors slammed shut. Hodge and 6 men rode in, firing their guns into the air. Asterisk, where's the hero? Hodge bellowed. Let's see if he's still got that mouth. Asterisk Eli stepped into the street, revolver low at his side. The wind kicked up dust between them. This ain't your town, Eli said. It is now, Hodge growled. You and that woman can pack your things or die with M. Asterisk Eli didn't blink. You talk too much. Asterisk Hodge went for his gun. Eli was faster. Asterisk 1 shot, then 2. Asterisk Hodge dropped where he stood, dust blooming under him. The men behind him froze. For a second, it looked like they might fight, but the look in Eli's eyes made them think better. Asterisk, they grabbed their horses and rode off, leaving their leader face down in the dirt. Asterisk, the street was silent except for the creak of a sign and the faint rattle of a shutter. Asterisk Nora came out slowly, her hands trembling. You killed him. Asterisk Eli holstered his gun. He left me no choice. Asterisk maybe. But crow his boss heel. Come for blood. Then he'll find it, Eli said, voice flat. That night, Larkspur felt like a town holding its breath. Men loaded rifles, women packed what they could carry. Nobody knew how many Crow would bring. Asterisk Nora found Eli sitting on the porch, cleaning his gun by lantern light. Asterisk, you could still leave, she said. No one would blame you. Asterisk, I've been running my whole life, he said quietly. Not this time. Asterisk, she hesitated, then handed him a rifle. Then you'll need this. Asterisk, he looked up at her. You don't have to fight. Asterisk, you don't tell me what I have to do, she said. You didn't start this war alone. Asterisk, Eli nodded once. Then we end it together. Asterisk, by dawn, they saw the riders coming. 30 men, black coats against the red horizon. At their head rode Jed Crow, owner of the mine, the kind of man who smiled only when something broke. Asterisk, he reined up in front of the saloon. You kill my Marshal Ward. Asterisk, your marshal tried to rob a town, Eli said. I fixed that. Asterisk Crow's grin was cold. You don't fix things here, boy. You survived them. Asterisk, he raised his hand. Burn it all. Asterisk, the first bullets tore into the walls. Eli fired back from the saloon door, his shots sharp and steady. Nora took the upstairs window, laying down cover fire while the townsfolk farmers, even kids fought from alleys and rooftops. Asterisk smoke filled the air. Horses screamed. A bullet caught Eli in the shoulder, spinning him against the wall. He gritted his teeth, reloaded, and kept firing. Asterisk Crow's men pressed closer, shouting and cursing. Then Nora's rifle cracked, and one of them tumbled from his horse. She ducked as another bullet shattered the window. Asterisk, still breathing, Eli shouted. Barely, she called back. Crow's voice rose through the chaos. You think you can stop me, what? I built this town. Asterisk Eli stepped into the street again, bleeding and furious. Then you can die in it. Asterisk, he fired once, twice missed both. Crow returned fire, hitting Eli low in the ribs. Eli dropped to one knee, the world spinning. Asterisk Crow rode closer, gun aimed steady. You could have ridden away, soldier. But no, you had to play hero. Asterisk Eli lifted his revolver, never been good at that. He fired. The bullet hit Crow square in the chest. The mine owner's grin vanished as he fell from his horse into the dust. Asterisk, the gunfire stopped. The riders looked at their fallen boss, then at the townsfolk still aiming rifles from every shadow. Slowly, they turned and rode off into the canyon. Asterisk, when it was over, Larkspur was half rubble, half miracle. Nora found Eli slumped against a post, pale and shaking. Stay with me, she said, pressing her hands against his wound. Asterisk, he managed a faint smile. You shoot straighter than most soldiers I knew. You talk too much, she said, trying not to cry. He winced a laugh. Guess we're even. Asterisk. The preacher came running with bandages. He'll live, he said after a moment, but he'll need time. Asterisk. Nora nodded, still holding his hand. Then you'll have it. Asterisk weeks passed. Eli healed slow but steady. The town rebuilt board by board, wall by wall. For the first time in years, people walked the streets without looking over their shoulders. Asterisk one evening Nora brought him coffee on the porch. The sun was dipping behind the cliffs, painting everything in gold. Asterisk Crow's mind shut down. She said, the men want to turn it into no more bosses. Asterisk, good, Eli said. World needs fewer of those. Asterisk, she looked at him. What about you? You staying. Asterisk, he stared at the horizon for a long time. Haven't stayed anywhere since before the war. Asterisk. Then maybe it's time. Asterisk, he glanced at her, the corners of his mouth lifting. You always this persuasive. Asterisk, only when I mean it. Asterisk, he chuckled softly. Maybe. I'll stay a while. See if peace suits me. Peace doesn't find men like you, she said. He looked at her, eyes soft for the first time. Maybe it does if they stop running. Asterisk. The wind shifted, carrying the scent of rain rare and clean. Asterisk Eli reached into his pocket and pulled out an old, tarnished medal. He turned it in his hand, then set it on the railing. For once, I think I'd rather build something than bury it. Nora smiled. Then let's start with this town. Asterisk. The two of them sat there as the first drops of rain hit the dust, turning the air cool and alive. For the first time in years, Eli didn't feel like a ghost wandering through other people's lives. He felt, finally, home. Asterisk. Months later, travelers passing through Larkspur would hear the story, how a stranger stopped a tyrant, how a saloon keeper stood her ground, and how a broken town found its spine again. Asterisk. Some said Eli Ward rode east when spring came. Others swore he built a small cabin near the canyon and never left. Asterisk. But every night, Nora lit a lantern in the window above the saloon soft. steady light cutting through the dark. Asterisk, and somewhere beyond the horizon, a rider on a tired old horse. Mutav looked back once, just to see it shining.